right, so part two of the free cart found on the side of the road. Got it propped up in the kids' old disgusting fish tank that resides down here in the basement. Got my little rolly stool here, which you can see. I did end up painting orange to match everything. This came out really very nicely. I think the mix I had came from an auto parts store, and it's just a bit nicer than the stuff I bought online. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to give this a good scuff with 220. I'm going to use the Dremel Multimax here. I've got Scotch-Brite pad for hard to reach places. I'll do some sanding by hand. And this is the Imperial Orange, the Nissan A12. It's 2004 to I can't remember what year's Nissan that it came with this Imperial Orange. And this is a good one. This SEM or SEM came from the auto parts store. This is the good one that I like. This is it's supposed to be Porsche yellow metallic. I don't know if you remember, if you guys, faithful viewers of my channel, remember that this came the incorrect color. So what I'm going to do is we're going to scuff this whole thing down, give it a good key, prime spots where there's rust all the way through the metal, and then I'm going to hit it with some of this base coat, just because this is, as far as I'm concerned, this is just throwaway garbage. I even labeled it garbage base, so that the color will take that much better. And that's gold metallic. Hopefully it'll make this pop a little bit. My stainless bolts that I gave the acid etchant treatment to are rusting, so I'm not sure exactly how stainless they really are. I should test them with a magnet. Amazon stuff from China. Yeah, right. So we'll probably do a little bit of a time lapse here while I give this thing a good, real good scuff down. All right, and I'll meet you after. All right, so saw me give it a good sanding. I just used the Dremel Multimax. I mean, this is an old car. It's not like we're doing finish work on a car here. It's not going to be perfect. So I really just needed to give it a good scuff. I'm not sure if this is powder coat or really good tough industrial paint, but it took a key really good with 220, 240. And you saw me vacuum it off. So focus on, if you're doing a project like this, focus on the areas that you can see. Like this, and this, and this. You're all going to see that. I'm going to prime the top and maybe put a coat on, but I have a butcher block for the top right there. I'll save that for another video when we put that on. But we're going to do butcher block on the top. And I'm probably going to do like a toolbox liner in there. So I'll just paint, I'll fog in the sides. I want to get all the corners. So, and I'm not worried about getting the underside here. You want to get a little paint in there when this is on the ground. It's just to look the part. We want this thing to look nice and orange. So I vacuumed it off with the brush. I still need to mechanically remove it with a good shop towel, and I like to use isopropyl alcohol. Has to be given a good rub down. My friend who owns a body shop also recommends using a really good glass cleaner. He gets the sprayway and the can and a lint-free cloth, and you can clean it down with that, and that does a really good job prepping it for paint. So we're going to do that. We're going to wipe it down with the isopropyl. Yeah, maybe I'll use the glass cleaner and do some spot priming. All right, cool. All right, so saw me get after it with a self-etching primer. Cleaned it with a good Sprayway gas cleaner first. Lint-free rag, went to a transition to a regular cloth rag. Again, this is not super nice finite work. I went after it with the SEM self-etching primer. Probably used a lot more than I needed, but I wanted to get all the bolt heads and the nuts anywhere there was raw steel where I'd sanded through or there was rust. Yeah, so a good thing we're not painting the top because there's tons of trash and fisheye and so on in the top there. But that's fine. That's really just fine for what we're doing. It's a good enough. I think I got primer everywhere that I need it, and I really need to tape off the casters. You know, I'll run a skirt around it before painting. So I don't know if you saw me sticking my hand in there with the glove that, of course, split open to get the paint on. You saw me. I wasn't wearing a mask, but I have a really good fan in the window over there, over yonder, and on this way behind you, I have a big fan too. I don't know if you could see the paint literally blowing away. So it was actually kind of tough to get it to land where I wanted it. So there is really good ventilation in here. I wasn't breathing and it's boom, head right out that window. So when we come back, I'm gonna wait until I've got more color on order. And this is known as the really good stuff to me. And I have the Color My Auto on order. So I'm gonna wait for that can to come in before I apply the color. And we're gonna see which one is better. And I'll use one more as a base, one more as the finish coat. Of course, we're gonna get clear. We're gonna attach the butcher block top. It may need to be cut down a little bit. It's just a hair big, so that might be a project too for the radial arm saw. We'll cut down that butcher block top and attach it. We're going to attach it with screws from the bottom. Be pretty nice when we're done. So you can join me back here when we're ready to apply the color. All right, cool. All right, so it's been a couple days. You can see I didn't film it, but I got base coat just using some of that metallic gold just as a base, because the Imperial Orange that I intend to paint this, it's a tad on the opaque side, and you really need a good base in order for it to get better coverage. I mean, you can get coverage with the Imperial Orange, but you're just going to be using a ton of it, and it's a waste. I have this paint, had it on hand, so I used it up. And still, yesterday I had some nice daylight coming in through the windows, which really helped for painting. I've still got some tiger striping with even the base, and I thought that I had done a good job here, but if you see that, you can see it's pretty visible tiger striping there, which I really need to avoid with the Imperial Orange. So what I was waiting for was for the good, not for the good paint, for paint to come in. I purchased this off eBay. This is Color My Auto A12. This is, you know, 24, 25 bucks. And I was trying to think, I'm not super impressed with this company, and I was like, why do I keep buying from them? And then I remembered when I was doing the Street Leasts Cobra, they had Hertz Gold for sale. One of the few places that I found that had Hertz Gold, and that's why I bought from them. The clear coat is decent. That's clear coat in there, and it's pretty inexpensive. I want to say might have been 25 bucks for 2 cans for the clear coat, so that's nice. But this comes with these tips. This is the very most crappy basic tips. So I took this one off. It was off another paint can. Anyway, this is a really good tip, and easy to spray, and adjustable nozzle and everything. Anyway, as I recall, this isn't the best color, so I'm going to use this again as a base. And this one that I got from the auto parts store, this SEM, is really good. Has a nice sheen, a very nice even metallic finish. This looks more like the factory finish, so I'm going to give this one. We'll do a couple of coats with this, and then one coat with this, and it should turn out looking primo there. So anyway, on to the time lapse. You can watch me jumping around this thing in a mask. Cool. All right, well, you saw from the thumbs down at the end, didn't come out as well as I wanted. That's an entire can, and just, I'm talking bare coverage, barely a thin covering coat. And yes, I suppose I could have misted it on, but it never works like that. You're going to mist it. Now you're going to use 3/4 of the can. You're going to go to use your second coat, and you get half as much. I find, I mean, whatever. Lay it on thick. You'll see, I don't know if you noticed, probably too fast in the video, but my attempt at using this good tip here failed, and the paint was literally pouring out. It was spraying pretty good, but it was pouring out of the nozzle, so I had to use this to try and save my finger. But the problem with this is, with some cans, it swings. I'm going to show you one hand. The stupid handle swings, so you're constantly losing. You got to constantly straighten out. If you saw that, I also ran into, and I'm not sure how this happened, but can you see? It's tough to see. There, can you see that? I got some crazing in there. Our furnace is about to kick on. I was hoping to avoid it, and I'm not sure how or why I got the crazing. I was using their product, Color My Auto product, as a primer. I followed their guidelines, but I got some really bad crazing in certain areas. It seemed like, I don't know if it was a bad mix with Imperial Orange, when it went on a little too thick, and I got, where it was going to run or whatever, that's when I got the crazing. But whatever, it's just a card. I'm just a perfectionist, and I'm unhappy with the way that it came out, but it is all covered. I'm not sure if I'll try and use any of the good paint or not, just to give it, a couple of little touch-ups, just because I just can't stand it. I guess that remains to be seen. So you can rejoin me when, you can see primer here a little bit around the bolt heads and a couple of spots. This really, I just don't be cheap. I'm trying to be cheap with the good paint, and I really can't be. I just need to bite the bullet and give it a good thin cover coat with the good paint, which just, see, it looks, that's with the good paint right there. It just looks phenomenal. So rejoin me in a couple of days, and we'll get this thing going on, touch it up, put the butcher block on it. All right. Cool. All right, so got 3 coats of clear on there. I didn't bother to show you. It's really no big trick. Funny thing, the Color My Auto clear comes with a really nice tip on it, not like on their colors. Weird. It was actually, it sprayed really nice. I didn't get any runs. I might have got one tiny little sag that I recoated and came right out. Used one entire can, and just, this was an old partial I had. I probably used, if you can gauge it like that, this much in there. So that'll wrap up part two of the cart found on the side of the road. And for the final part, we'll add the butcher block top. I'm going to put some toolbox liner there on the bottom, and we're going to call it good. It didn't come out as good as I did another rolling cart. I did an engine stand. I did a side toolbox. They all came out better than this, and I think it's preparation. It's always preparation. And my friend told me that I didn't allow enough time in between coats and put it on too heavy. That's why I got that kind of crazing in there. So, it is what it is. It's just a card. As always, my friends, thank you for watching. Truly appreciate your support. Please hit me up in the comments. Still reply to all my comments. Give me that thumbs up. Really helps the channel. Really appreciate it. And give me a subscription. Give me a subscribe if you're not already subscribed. All right. So, yeah, part 2 of the free cart found on the side of the road. All right, my friends, take care. Bye-bye.